Alright, check, check, check. Let's go. Back live once again. Alright, welcome back. Welcome back. Today we are going to be doing a couple of things. So, first up on deck, we have the Switch Lite, which belongs to the daughter of a friend of mine. And apparently, the LCD has gone bad. Get the case out the correct way, which is over the trigger and bumpers first. A pretty nice case. So this is a Switch Lite that I sold to him expressly for his daughter. He bought a couple for his other kids as well. And right now the backlight's completely dead, but when he sent me the photo, this corner of the screen was completely black, and it looks like it took a fall or it got crunched somehow. I don't really know what happened. And she kept playing on it, and it eventually glitched out and stopped completely working. Okay, well, there is an SD card in here I gotta remember about. I checked it under the light and I could still see the screen and everything. I can't tell if this actually has a screen protector on it or not. It looks like it does. Well, that's kind of sad. So I don't really know what happened here. I'm looking around. I mean, there's no obvious signs of drop damage. I wonder if she sat on it. I'm not sure. Either way, it's not working. So, normally I'm not a very big fan of screen replacements, and to the point where I almost actively refuse to do them. But in this case, I am able to buy laminated screens for this, so that really takes the pain out of doing the LCD replacement on these things, because the biggest problem with changing out screens is getting the LCD in line properly. And it is a nightmare, and I just prefer not doing that. But since Steven is a good friend of mine, and this is for his daughter, I initially had thought this was for someone else that he had bought some for. Bought a couple of Switch Lights from me for another family, and apparently one of the children in that family is a little bit rough with their electronics, to put it lightly. So I actually had thought that was who it was from, because that screw strip. Okay, that one. And that one. Now I've got a strip screw, it looks like. That's a little odd. It's not uncommon to see him strip, but alright, I know what I can do. Don't know if y'all can hear, but I have the IEM Cologne Counter-Strike Major on in the background. We have FaZe versus Ninjas in Pajamas right now. Kind of looking forward to this one, so probably get a DMCA strike for it, most likely. I'm not too sure how they handle rebroadcast of someone else's stream, but it's just audio, so I'm kind of hoping maybe I'll get away with it, but shit, they finally broke. Yeah, I think this is a lost cause, honestly. Fortunately, that's just the way these things go. Plastic fasteners are just never meant to be taken apart and put back together multiple times. Oh, okay, that. Well, her. Oh, okay, that should be okay. Maybe. What the heck? This was opened? Her backlight ribbon cable came completely out. What the heck? How did that happen? Alright, so we got the button fixed, but yeah, I don't know if y'all can see that, but her backlight ripple, that would explain why the backlight stopped working. But why? That is interesting. I've never seen a ribbon cable just unhook itself like that. But now, oh, well, I took the SD card out, so I freaked out. So we're gonna, just for now, pull that out. Set this aside. Power you on one more time. Let's get a good look at this. Yeah, and there's the streaking he was talking about. There's the plastic that broke out. Yeah, but you can see see how that's just black right there, and then that's all. It still registers the digitizer that way, but yeah, this is definitely dead. So You can see right here, this is the screw bosses they go into, and this one just cracked. Fortunately, there's not much I can do to fix that. So they'll be light as screw now, but... Is this one that I replaced the ribbon on? I don't think so. That looks factory to me. Everything looks good though. So we'll just power down and keep disassembling here and get this screen out. Now my thought, my hope, my dream here is that I will be able to just straight up pull the motherboard and the mid frame out at once. And that way I don't have to unscrew too much or muck with too much here. I am going to have to pull off the daughter board. I'm going to take off a bunch, but hopefully we can get away with as little as possible. The good thing we've got going here the good thing that we've got going here is the motherboard's still good. Just need a little bit more coffee in my life. Still kind of on my morning coffees, so to speak. Decided not to stream yesterday in lieu of more Zelda, which has been going swimmingly for me. I've beaten 3 of the 4 main temples so far. Been really enjoying this game. Okay, so there's the shielding done. Okay, let's just take a look here. This looks like one I did a port swap on. Looks like I did some trace repair on it. Okay. Right, well, I'm gonna have to. I know I'm gonna have to take these off. Kind of formulating a plan of attack here to see if I can't. So let's do this before we even. This must have been a newer light because that's factory thermal paste on the heat pipe, so it must have been new enough that. There's the power. Just in case. Okay, so now. This guy can go up here. Pull this up. Make sure it moves that spring.
team was it the other day, Chad? They missed heaven stroke 2 or 3 times.
Mongols?
No, I don't think it was Mongols. There was somebody else.
The Joy-Con ribbon is unlatched too, like.
Might have been Furia. I think it was Furia. Yeah. Furia missed heaven stroke at least twice. It might have been 3 times even.
I don't.
In like very crucial situations as well. MXG with the 16 left reset, but we're 1 off the scam train, you beautiful bastards.
He's ended up missing that heaven smoke in the mid round, so Hetrick had that clear line of sight. He just never got the chance to get involved.
I'm not sure though, Chad.
Ends up fighting first.
A lot of people missing the heaven smoke lately.
Those players behind the sight, you can't really deal with them. That shot came so close.
Yeah, it looks like the factory flex cable too. It's hard to. I've worked on so many of these now. I don't remember everything I've done anymore. Okay, grab that. Pull that out. Now, not the cleaner. Some. Yeah, different signs of a little girl. There's some glitter on the D-pad now. Doesn't look like there's any liquid damage or anything though. That's good. So let's see here now.
I love to hear that shit. Okay, tell me more.
It's like Among Us, but there's literally like classes and shit. And like you spawn in, like not only is just like a goose or attack or like a crew member or a imposter, but you also have like roles like Thomas Salem.
Just grabbing all these buttons while I can. Now. Yeah, I don't think I can take the subframe off without taking. Alright, well, that sucks. Oh well, there goes that idea. Let's just go ahead and just start disassembling here. Okay, that's not popping up.
What's a bit concerning right now is NIP really rallied on the CT side, closed it out at the end, didn't get fucked with.
I really don't want to have to replace this cable, or this connector rather. Feels a little fluxed in there. And where it looks okay. Okay. Man, NIP just got done losing 7 in a row. That's pretty impressive. Setting that aside for later.
NIP have now beaten Vitality and FaZe in the same tournament on Mirage. Not the same tournament, but they did beat Vitality on Mirage, yes.
Problems towards the imminent from FaZe. Great with the entry. Ross
Vitality
looking
beat
to
NIP
trade.
in
Very
Blast.
blind though. Hamper still in the water, trying to create some space for himself, but maybe compromise from multiple directions. Relying on head trick, but it doesn't matter. We've got headshots all over the shop, being through the wall, straight in the face.
Man, this is...
Dominating half so far from FaZe Clan.
This is
Although
fucking
there's been
underwhelming.
slight minimal response from NIP.
Probably gonna have to
Oh, did I miss one? Oh, sorry.
bite the bullet here and re-thermal paste this as well.
I'm so sorry, bro. We can hustle on the chat for best
We were
members.
saying earlier that B-site has had some changes for NIP. They've been trying to work on it. They've been trying to work on that B-site hold here on Overpass, but
Thank you. Thank you.
not put up much
Okay, that's
resistance
fine.
in
Thank
that
you.
round.
That out. Okay. This
You don't show up and then you just come in here to dunk on it, it's fucked up.
So-
What the? Hey, yo, dude.
NIP tried to get more
You
aggressive around
realize when I
A.
play some fucking overpass, I just fucking hit my
Going
ball.
deeper on long, but to no avail. They want a pistol again, their third pistol. Ignore that, they've had one round of
What the
success
DJ, dude?
with an opening frag from a blind player. And a play through his
Okay, let's see here.
an opening kill on this one with the Desert Eagle, and they've got a few smokes as well. Chance to play in
Clearly, honestly, for his first round coaching, he's clearly fixed it. Now he wants to actually know what the fuck he's doing. How crazy. Works fast. But based on the interview, Kerrigan gave, it sounds like, you know, he's gonna... It sounds like Kerrigan doesn't really want him to do much right now. Which is fair. Like,
He might just come off the rotate instead.
you don't want, like...
His head looks so good with that AJ.
Yeah, man.
Finally, Brawler puts him down.
Clean this off.
Basically, Neo is learning the team first, and like how they operate and how they are, and then, you know, over time you want someone to basically get more involved and fill in the gaps.
Don't see Robs running in like this every day. He wants to pad those
Which I
stats.
actually think is a really good strategy, right? Like, this isn't a new team, this isn't, you don't have like a lot of, there's no inexperienced players, there's, figure out what we're doing wrong and like figure out how it works so you can manage those situations for us.
Okay. Okay. So, couple more screws left.
Good minute to 30?
It's 20 seconds, so. Oh, Rocky doubles it this
a
time.
bit longer this time. But now we've got three players from NIP very forward position.
Davey, thank you very much for one gift. Huge. What the? That thing had like 10 seconds left for me. And then it just went down. Am I crazy? Thank you, Davey. Channel you 12 gifted.
Nobody in connector on this occasion. Carrigan is lurking.
Actually, Twitch scamming, bro.
Great angle for Brawler. Free information.
Scamming.
NIP committing to short B. There are 4 players that might be coming
Realize
their way.
that's on your screen,
There's
yeah.
one response from FaZe Clan though. Starting to creep in. Flashes being lined
I
up.
mean, this is terrible. Simmer down, but I don't know if you're like an angry better or something, but they literally won map 1.
Could be in
Another
trouble.
map for
Again,
this
the
again.
check flashes will continue.
Simmer
The
down.
volleys as well. Stuck in the water. CT flashes as well. But what about the
Anytime
frag?
I've seen type so far, it's just a
One in
shit
the
on
water.
Mickey, which is fair.
Confidence
Getting
still
shit
strong.
on,
Maybe
but like,
problems for FaZe Clan there. As they're still standing. Hampers finally
Mickey
from
is also seem like they're literally up 1-0 right now.
now it's Brokey alone. 1 versus 3. And fast on to Rez. He's got 13 seconds there. It's time to do this, but he doesn't have position. Roland certainly does.
NIP is just getting pooped on right now by FaZe. Pulling a little bit back. Pulling a little bit of it back, but still pretty much getting pooped on.
That's why I thought that maybe getting outside Jill's the coach is going to be a little bit for fans and you know, maybe more of a tactical.
Alright, so this is the old LCD cable. And the new LCD cable. Oh, that digitizer cable. And now the motherboard should just
so he can easily calm them down if nerves or something like that gets overtaken.
It should just want to
He
come
is
out.
a very laid back person overall, and his emotions not gonna
Okay.
interfere that is shown in front
So
of him.
yeah, it looks like all the mid-frame screws are
Thank you.
not accessible until you pull the motherboard out, which
Neo is, yeah. He has that joke, but
I
yeah,
think I
that's
actually changed the USB. Yeah, I did. Yeah, this is a USB port swap board.
obviously most people.
M92 as well, it looks like.
Almost done now.
I don't know. CSG, that was a collab.
How much do they commit to this frag? Lovely
There you go,
from
Henry.
Henry. The quick scope onto Brokey as well.
Hey, Lorado, the behavior is very easy to predict. That's also why I keep the bed in chat out of
Twisted rocks
stock
remain.
out
That
of
round
chat.
is still dangerous.
Don't worry, I knew. It's very obvious.
Thought I might have had a missing resistor there, but it's there.
Bro, that should have had that. But
Honestly, the board's fine.
See,
I don't see
how is Robs getting away with this?
really anything concerning.
Confident hits the headshot, so Robs needs an ace.
Do it?
So, yeah. She's taking pretty good care of her device here.
Deploy it. It might go too far. Rob's 24 increased down the lane. It's
oh, wow.
holding on, MIP, giving themselves a fighting chance, keeping their heads just above water in the dying rounds of the first
I
half.
got the round.
Excuse me.
Take one round at a time in that
Hit
team.
that first headshot where you
Don't let their emotions get
how low
away.
he was.
Get in the win.
Maybe expecting Robs to be ready for another
Yeah,
player in
it's
this
fine, it's
advantage
fine.
position. Like, normally you're not going to have it all solo there.
That's fine. If he,
Still got
I'm literally talking
kills
to
to roll
him.
out.
Okay, I want to see one thing here.
Not enough though, Robs. The quad kill and yet still loses the round.
I know he threw in one more. They're terrible in there. but
Frustration for
pretty much
FaZe, but we have a 9-4 lead. We'll see if they decide to switch things up. The fast beat
Looked like I thought I might have saw.
starts it.
Perma next. Check, he just
Rob's
won't
running it
win. And
backwards
don't
with
even
the
lie.
flashes. Well
He
drilled,
broke like
well oiled
15 minutes
FaZe
before
clan
the
looking
full.
to make double
We addressed that, and then he said he said I provoked.
Man, I am just mowed my lawn yesterday, and that's a mistake in my life nowadays. And I am just nothing but a ball of snot today. Sneezing like crazy right now. Ugh. It's alright. Anyway, I was looking to see if maybe she had an issue in this connector,
Interesting.
but as we can see, it is pristine. Nothing is out of place, so I think we're good there. So now we gotta
Oh shit, that's a rip rose. That's a perma pack chat.
Too much harm done though.
I mean, I guess it's good to know.
The rip rose.
I think you're
such a good one.
Okay, so we're going to go for it into the last round and a half.
I feel like I am.
NIP will have some weaknesses.
There's all the buttons and all the membranes. Might be missing a membrane there, which is fine. I've got plenty, but
That smoker. Not the best, not the strongest buy
I
from
don't
NIP.
see it.
And the Famas.
Might be stuck to the motherboard still. So
As Hedrick will
I
go
think now I can pull the mid frame out.
on this
Oh,
occasion.
thank you, dude. Appreciate it.
Lucky with very forward positions. Config was in short B.
Yeah, he said to drop the smoke.
I wonder if that's monster.
So let's go ahead and do that. Sorry, I know
Able to fall back after that kill.
off camera there for a minute. Alright, so let's get these bagged up. And that way I can keep all the mid-frame screws separate from
Robs is just farming now. It's just farming, bro.
The Xbox GG in chat.
Hendrick's kind of coming behind. It's the ball at the back. It's the ball
Xbox
at the back.
house is just fucking burning right now, man.
Oh, there's twist, but Rain is here to trade immediately.
All right, there goes those. Goes to the pile.
Fist bump, see which people like which hands. He's got to get the chem in there. Cat. I would normally run a 3-minute here, just but I don't think it's really I'm running minute 30. I owe you guys how many subs?
All right.
Your whole month of being
So
I think a nice 12 is good.
let's see here. The mid frame is just basically held in by a bunch of smaller screws, which are all around the outside. These are different, I believe, than the other silver screws, so try to keep them separate if you get this type of repair in. Okay, so that tall one's going to go up top, but that'll be the only spot for it. I think these mid frames are actually made of magnesium. Okay, that should just pull that all off as one giant unit. Maybe I might have to undo. No, there's some indexing on the right side that you got to be careful of, and that exposes the screen. Okay, so now we've got the mid frame, the battery, the fan. That's all taken off. So you can set that aside, and then we will grab another baggie for these tiny screws here. Oh man, so this is the shitty part about screen repair. Now, with the switch and the switch light, the LCD and the digitizer are what is called air gapped. And what air gap means is there is a literal cushion of air between the digitizer and the screen. Now, what I bought is called a laminated screen, and that means the digitizer is glued directly to the LCD. So basically I'm going to pop this off, right? This top part here with the blue bezel, that's the digitizer. And we can see that it's already kind of starting to come up there. So we'll just hit it with a little bit of warm air. Now the good thing is that since we don't have to save any of this, I don't have to be too careful to try not to break or bend anything. But I want to try to take a look at the screen to see if maybe I can see what happened. You know, unfortunately, when I sell these things, I tell people I do cover, you know, electrical issues or if a component fails or something. But I don't really cover drop and liquid damage. And particularly goes for the screen. The screen is, out of everything on the board that's replaceable, the screen is probably the most expensive part for you to go replace at $45 a piece, even from China. And, you know, if a unit leaves my house with a working screen, generally I don't accept them back if the screen breaks, because usually the only way for that to happen is some physical force gets applied. And I'm not trying to point fingers or anything like that. These are children's devices, and children are not the most careful of their stuff sometimes, but she has taken very, very good care of this. So it's, you know, who knows? Accidents happen. But anyway, this is the screen and the digitizer assembly out. I do feel bad for Steven here because it does seem like he put a nice glass screen protector. Now what I'm trying to do is see if I could separate the screen from the digitizer. So take a look at the screen. That's the backlight I just ripped off. Yeah, so that's the problem with screen replacements, is it's pretty hard to just replace the screen. Which is why when he came to me with this, I told him the only way I'd really consider doing it is if you let me buy him a laminated screen, because they're easy to pop on and off. So I am just not... I don't think I'm going to be able to get the screen off without breaking it. I'm just curious. I just want to see. I want to take a look. I mean, the screen's dead, so anything I do to it's not mattering, and I don't have to reuse the digitizer anyway, so that's always a good thing. Maybe I can just take a look at what happened. I don't know. This is more just for curiosity's sake than anything else. Basically just trying to soften up any adhesive in here. See if maybe that'll let it separate a little bit easier. Usually is not the case. Usually once the I can't tell if I'm... See, I think I'm pulling the wrong thing apart here. Oh yeah. So unfortunately, it's just like I thought. I'm not gonna really be able to show this very well because of what I'm doing to it, but yeah. Well, we can see here. This is the backlight that I'm pulling apart right now. All right, so but we can see. Now I did that, but yeah, this is definitely like sat on or something. But I did not do that. This I definitely did do. So no, I might have. No, I ought to save this aside. That sucks. Happens. Digitizer might still be good. Maybe. I don't know. I have to really separate the screen from it, which is... But yeah, that's toast. Well, that solves that. So it was definitely sat on or something.
Really well seeing Ross play this well.
Second, don't you have some
Get to see
editing to
how
be
his
doing?
brain
Your
works
team
and how
found
he's
one
able
to
to maneuver opponents.
Okay. Now let's see here. We gotta try to clean up some of this adhesive. I think they do give me. And this is the only crappy part about doing these things is that I do have to attach new adhesive. And that is always just a, it's always just a seriously fiddly job.
No, nobody's knocked out, but this is the opener round for both these teams.
So I'm just gonna try to go around here and we're gonna try to just clean up any
Well, the times the matches are never played fairly. How about that? Obviously, if the games run longer, then they push the other match back.
residual. That's the word. Mitch McConnelling myself here. Not sure. Feeling good. Just gonna keep going around. I felt like there's a good amount on this right side here. Does look like FaZe is set to win the second game here. After getting absolutely, well, I won't say they got routed in the first game. It was a pretty close game.
That's a shame. Didn't realize he was getting blocked. Didn't turn around in time. And yeah, I love that Brokey just hangs around there. Realizes he's going to run me down. I'll just stay out of this annoying angle. He's never going to pre-aim this.
They're killing everything, bro.
It's just like all this residual glue that's just sticking around, bothering me. I guess it won't really be that big of a deal, but as much of this as I can get off, the better. So I mean, we've got maybe time to do a dry fit. I'm just always nervous about these things because you don't, unfortunately, you're just kind of trusting that the screen's going to work. Okay, so at least this comes with the protector on it. So this is what they look like, right? You can see the digitizer and the screen are one.
That one was pretty close. MIP had quite the rally on the CT side. FaZe almost brought it back.
And then it's going to go in like that.
They're on overpass. We just watched MIP get absolutely dicked. Guys, they won 5
No.
rounds with winning both.
Other way around. See? That's why you dry fit. So I always forget. Backlight's on the left.
CT side, they even converted one of the rounds.
Yeah, see? A little concerned that this stuff is still too sticky. I don't want to dry install this and then have it be stuck and then ruin the screen getting it back out.
Pistol doesn't matter.
And this is again. I still.
Like something like an 80% chance to
I don't think it matters what you do. Any type of screen work is always just fiddly.
extra likes and follows on the TikTok live cast. Thank you. Well, yeah, a lot better. Chat, I'm running a minute 30. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go taste test some more of the cake. I'm a professional taste tester after all, chat. Yeah, Nip has won all 4 pistols, yes.
A little bit of scrape here instead will kind of help remove anything that's stuck on. Yeah, I can see it coming up better now with the scraper. So the adhesive is more like of a gel than a tape. It goes on like a tape, but it's really more like a gel. Yeah, you can see how it just strung up there.
Faith rebound and answer back with a statement. 11 rounds to the good on the T side of overpass. Jason, it was almost inevitable the Fays were going to be closing this one up very swiftly indeed.
Yeah, we saw the signs kind of leading into things, and obviously once the game started, you could see on like the difference of NIP being comfortable on Mirage, and then on overpass, like all that individual skill, the head trick, like Conflict playing well, uncomfortable on the map. You're not going to be comfortable as an individual, and you got to say, Rob's dominated them, by his lonesome for a while there.
Yeah, he had an amazing game. I think also you see I think what really hurt NIP was losing that second round, right? Like losing to the fourth buy after winning this to really put their economy in a bad spot.
Okay, well,
To wrestle that back and it doesn't work out. Then in the first gun round, because lost bonus turns on you, you don't have an option.
again, I'm just not sure if I'm going to be able to dry fit this or not.
The way you gotta play.
Kind of want to try.
And so the first time he did get it, they had the setup, but he was on B. So the first 2 gun rounds really for FaZe, it was about just kind of sort of taking map control, execute pretty, straightforward, bought the entries or at least bought the trades. And at that point, especially a team like FaZe, they're up 6-1, 7-1 on T side, like they can do whatever they want. They have a huge buffer, and then they're really difficult to stop.
And Kerrigan's one of the best players we have in calling this momentum, and FaZe had it that whole game, which is great. You just got to build upon that. Actually, one thing we said the other day at the post of the last map was that FaZe was going to win one of the pistols. They lost both of them, but they won both second rounds. So,
So we can see that because of the way the cables are,
Let's bring up that particular round because this is a really nice execute coming out of the T side of Faze.
Yeah, I mean, it's just standard default play, right? Team, flash, but even Ray doesn't get this kill, which is wild. And then it's Rob's, hey, they're not re-smoking Monster, let's just go for a contact play here, right? You have Brokey holding in Monster, smoke is too late, Rob wins the duel, gets traded out, Flash comes in, trades, they're coming into the bomb site, right? Hampus throws the smoke, tries to play around it.
trying to,
A little bit awkward because
I might have to
it's really big.
pre-bend these cables or something because
Even with that, right? Like,
it doesn't really want to
post plant and, that's something
line up in the corners the way I need it to here.
I was surprised about how long Twist was taking it in this round.
Now that might also be,
They could have assumed that he was close there, but
I assume
there's a little,
Kerrigan was just like chill, like that smoke's going to fade, and I have to kind of
that's kind of stiff and making my life a little miserable here. So I'm going to try to pre-bend that a little bit.
back over towards the B bomb site, and all of a sudden you've got Robs and Twist coming at
Being
you.
as gentle as I can here.
Players that we have in the scene, like mechanically gifted players, and it's like, oh, good luck.
Yeah, let's bring up some Rob's highlights because as you said very aptly, incredible on that map. And I think it goes to show just how comfortable Faze are on this round. Really well synergized, and it allows Robs to really be unleashed on this round.
I mean, they're very comfortable, and on the other side of things,
Okay, that seemed to,
he didn't do all that much.
that's a good fit. Okay,
Uncomfortable, right? Like early on,
so we're in a
that was probably
good fit there.
later on.
Guys, ice cream so good.
Getting shut
Yes,
down,
yes,
maybe
yes.
confidence isn't that high. Didn't help, Brawl and another sort of struggling overpass performance for him. So we'll see how it goes. This was actually ridiculous.
Okay.
The jumping at the back hill. So
Okay, so I got that going.
That Robs has as a player, like
Now I I guess we can try to apply the adhesive layer here.
Some rounds he's aggressive in a different
Mm,
scenario.
this
Other rounds he's
feels
just
so
ultra
good.
passive, and you're gonna walk into his crosshair. And he's got so many styles that he can switch into depending on
No,
the
the reason I've got
situation.
two is because I've actually got one of these for myself for another build. Now I have to figure out where everything goes, because I assume it's supposed to go like this.
Ganja.
Yeah, Rob says
Now,
he's a gamer's gamer, and we'll see now going into.
This feels so
I
good.
think that's where I also give the edge to
Yes,
FaZe.
yes, yes.
I think it's one of their staple
Mm,
maps in a
it's
sense, right? I mean, they've had a lot of big
let me
wins,
use
big
this other
moments
one if it's
on the map, and
not
for NIP,
bent.
we've seen like it can be
No, they're both
really good
bent.
at times, but
Okay.
also pretty bad at times.
I think that's one of
Trying to
the
figure out how these work.
for NIP is at least they have like a couple wings versus overpass where like you've lost to complexity, you've lost to Imperial on it. Here at least they've got some big scouts. They won a match here earlier in the tournament. That was an important
Yes,
one.
yes,
as well.
yes.
So this is at least a map they can go into and maybe just
Ice
it's
cream,
not
so
the most
good.
comfortable thing in the world. Confidence that they
Can you say it with a lower voice and try to be serious? Come on.
See, like,
They have a lot of options on their
it's
team.
not a perfect fit. It's overlapping by just a tiny bit, and I don't know
We've been waiting for
if
ages.
that's something I am doing or
Have a couple of pocket strategies to change the pace, whether it's the A splits, the
if it's because there's a little bit of stickiness still left, and I'm gonna have to go scrape again.
the A box.
It almost sounds like he's not Swedish. Like I don't even know. Like
On him on the lurk, right, being annoying sometimes, just searching aggressively
it's
for
like
gold.
if Al
Gold,
Pacino was like
I think that's
Swedish.
going to be interesting on this map, because the NIP, like,
But it is just literally like
they have that guy who sees
a half millimeter off.
what's going on the map. Sometimes they
Apple
put
tea.
hat-trick there with the AWP.
That's a
So
little
we'll
weird.
see what the approach from FaZe will be.
Josh in the jungle, thanks for your comment. Thank you, dude.
I'm wondering if that's just gonna
Thanks for your 6-month timer, by the way. Thank you.
squish down or not.
Chris, calm down.
It very well could be. I think too you're going to see someone like Campus isn't going to be afraid to do like I think he'll be probably more interested in getting like some momentum calls like some of those upper pops things will be much more like keen to like get involved in those get a little
So bad
sneaky with
outside.
it. He's got some tools like config that he's going to be willing to work with also. So he's got a few more things on this playbook that feels like it lends itself to like simpler but explosive. And sometimes on Nuke those explosive tactics if the defense can ever put a stop to them.
It's a very interesting way they've got the adhesive backed here. Fortunately, I'm learning as I'm going, which is not my favorite way of doing things.
Kind of like Brawl and config and Res play pretty static positions. Maybe Brawl was the only one
Okay.
so much. So I don't think that's natural.
And the solace that I've got is that at least
Get used to it or find a way to play it where you can like do something and move around, and we'll see how that works out.
I've got a spare. If I screw this up, I could sacrifice mine.
Have those different plans. They're going to have those different contingencies. They're going to have those things they can switch into and far more comfortable calling something just off intuition and trusting more in intuition that hasn't quite been set in stone yet for an IP.
Well, our opener from FaZe here in Cologne will be closed after this final lap. We're going to be going down on the grounds of Nuke, but not before a quick break. When we're back,
I
it's
did see
Jason
the
Walker.
DG one on CCTV. Yes. Yeah, not Coppin City. I'm also a fat piece of food. I'm running a minute 30-second ad. Also, Jerry, thank you very much for your 5 bits. Can't wait to be on team get right.
Yeah, I knew this was gonna happen. I'm off by a literal freaking millimeter. Oh, I screwed it up. Neat. Fucking neat. Well, I screwed all this up. Okay. Alright. Well, I mean, end of the day, I do have my own personal adhesive if I need to use it, but this is why this stuff sucks. Because the moment you're off just a bit, the whole thing is just dead. And there's nothing you can do about it. Okay. Alright, well, we'll go for round 2 here. I'll be way more careful with this stuff.
This ain't standard off either. This is like
No, this isn't center off. This one is. I messed up in this clip because I told Olaf I was gonna double peek tunnel with him. I didn't want to throw a molly and tunnel, but I threw a molly, and then I didn't want to peek because it would create a one-way T. So and then Olaf wide sword flat and died, and I kind of just felt like, oh, I have to close down side right now, or this is a big throw.
well, when you get the ace and make up for the mistake. I think that's what mistakes are looking for. Let's just say, I mean, right out of the gates, if you put that in your top 10 somewhere,
No, I wouldn't have done that.
you don't put that in? I'm sorry, that's it. Very well done, Timer. Thank you.
Okay.
Well, once again, we lost the game, but I guess it's from the same series, man. There's all these clips. I mean, I think this could be in a part round after this game went to, I think, 3 or 4 OTs, so there's not many rounds in OTs, so to secure one round just by acing is important for the one more game. But we lost, so I don't know. I mean, maybe it would be number 10 one.
Alright, I know y'all can't really see what I'm doing here, but this adhesive is not fun to deal with.
He's smirking while he's watching it. At what point did you know you would win this match? You know how like you get that feel a little bit?
Probably when I got into this situation, got the tunnel. It's just a massive off angle. It's a very deep corner in the clear.
So we're gonna
That's probably one of the last angles you figured.
Yeah, and also like you kind of instill fear into your opponents when you do 1v.
what we're gonna do now.
It was a 1v4.
Make my life a little easier if I can. We're gonna trim off some of this adhesive backer to clear up.
Sitting there, rotating and adding your team. Just throw it in there. If you're gonna put it in there, we just, throw it on. And then we'll show for the round.
It was a charity event.
Again.
Thank you, appreciate you.
It's not even top 15 for me, but
Thank you, Sparky. Thank you. It's stunning today.
top 15 for me.
I just put a charity event clip in there and thought he wouldn't notice. That's crazy. Moses' head is so damn smooth. It's so fucking smooth, dude. Did you guys know that Moses actually has a full-time person that actually takes care of his head?
The first 2 maps, but faces with it was
It's pretty nuts, actually. He goes through a lot
and now we go
to make sure that his head is in tip-top shape.
has been very good for FaZe. NIP no slouches
Yeah,
on this map
full-time employee.
themselves though, so it's the next chance to have another close
Well, actually,
match
he's got
between
two.
these
Lost
two.
has a person for him, and Idiot has a person for him.
NIP showed on that first map, they can definitely take it to FaZe.
I'm being extra cautious here. It's just not really going on the way I want it to.
So yeah, I believe the conflict term is actually Dome Digger. Dome Buffer.
On overpass. See if that's the back of their reconstructed minds for this third one. Hopefully for them everything is reset. No shocker that FaZe was strong. They still need to beat them now. We're into that decider. Headshot will be the rate boss P250 man.
Army-Gator, brother.
Ross has got some targets. Ross! Okay.
I'm just gonna go ahead and
3 minutes
pretend
on for
like
a pistol.
you're being not promoting your chat, your channel on the chat. Most people will probably pro Bendy, but
Patiently looking for a 4th one is Ross, but
hey man, keep
Ambrose
cooking.
trying to regain that bomb. Pretty hard task though, separated from his teammate as Carrigan drops Reds by the run. A promising start indeed.
it again.
Taken, great plays from Ross, focused and ready
The
for
first one of the series.
All it took for FaZe to win their first pistol round of IEM Cologne was Rops.
sit down.
Pop off. The jumping shot's so nice. I mean, look, no one even turns. That's how quick he was. No one can even react. No one
He's
can
so
even
clean
turn
with it, dude. It's
and
not fair.
look
He's
and
still
do it
feeling it
just
from
like
overpass.
that.
This is actually so scary.
Oh, if we get Rops continuing in this
If
level,
Robs keeps up this form and if there's nobody on NIP that steps it the fuck up, it's just over.
His gloves for NIP, so Ray will try and find.
Damn, he's done with it.
No, come on.
His teammates so Brokey stealing the kills. Fast eco round is a good eco
Oh
round.
yeah.
Here's a
No,
prop
like that guy's fucking account is literally.
I might just have to go ahead and just use my normal tape here.
Dramatic every time he came in.
God, these things are such a pain in the
I
ass.
didn't even
He was
realize.
saving for, they will have AKs.
Dude,
Just a little shy of being able to afford that all.
I didn't even read. I didn't look at his message. I was just trying to be
You can
nice.
expect them to keep some of those weak weapons that they had in the previous round. Carrot twist.
Oh, is the Gamba? Chaz, keep close the Gamba on Izzy.
We had the devs point out that Hatness in the past has looked at one of those fast A plays, trying to
I don't know, but it's not a bot
see
account.
what
I feel
NIP go
toxic,
for
but
initially in this
that's
one.
what
It's
we're
Hatness going
going
aggressive. They're
Hey,
on
dude.
yard, looking to
Let's
follow
play
up these
CS2.
smokes.
Hey, dude,
And
play
shoot that
CS2.
one
Check
down
out my
secret.
channel.
That's good map
Chaz,
control.
I literally made the Gamba. I just need you to close it, you fucking bot.
Just now arriving. Atlas's Molly will keep them out though, so this is a good start for an IP here. And Rops took loads of damage there from the Molly.
Yeah, that's made very expensive. Tonight information as well. Wonder what the urgency is like for FaZe. Rain taking up the rear angle. Minute in on the clock. NIP threatening a B play. Different grenades lined up for the A bomb site. It looks like.
Oh, they're gonna get on the mini. He's not gonna win
Main
it.
as well.
Oh, but Carrot is not. That's actually really well played.
Again, he'll be the nuisance, he'll be the distraction.
That
Rain
option
keeps
is so
picking up
much.
flashbacks though. Carrigan can't get it done this time. 3 on 4.
Carrigan getting the hot dog just set up Rain for his kill.
Man advantage. Fuse kit in the hands of Twist. That lurk smoke up top.
I thought it was for
Once again.
the burgers. I definitely want burgers, but
Those that committed our phase.
I don't know.
Great range, great taps as well. Rain drops that one.
like if I'm at a cookout or something like that, or I'm like out, I'm like, I'd rather have a hot dog. I think most of the time actually.
Control they took. They don't have much to show for it. Bomb lost on the outside.
Xmas, thank you very much for the raid. Appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
No, turns away. Now Rain executes him in the back. Quad kill for
Like chicken
Rain.
sandwiches. For me, if I'm gonna have like I want like a fried fucking.
One little tiny section was the only thing that really got screwed up here.
Sometimes a bit of a specialist on this map is Ray. Remember the major, where he was MVP and he was dominant on this CT side.
You might be able to save it.
FaZe reigning IEM Cologne
If your guy is in
champions.
the air fryer, you mean like, yeah, like the frozen ones
2022
without
was a great
chicken?
year for them. They want to prove
With
they
the
can
breading
still
on?
win trophies in 2023.
Insane hot dog or insane brat? Insane hot dog.
Back in March.
Yeah. That's not bad, but
As dominant of a team, they've always been there or thereabouts.
Just a little nervous that that's too bunched up. You might have to just chop it out.
Twist boosted. He has been cleared. And Brokey's not able to trade immediately. There could be some danger, but the lineup from Brokey denies everything.
Oh my
And the P250
Brokey.
finishes the job.
clean.
These FaZe players are looking extremely sharp. They already
Alright,
were on the
just
second
step it
map,
up.
but this is a
Face
legitimate
is warming up. You got Rops hitting, you got Brokey hitting. Who's stepping up?
from Rops. Still in the back of my mind, got to wonder about NIP. Lining up perfectly for Brokey. Take it,
Roll
take
him.
it.
Maybe config. Who's stepping it up right now?
He's happy with that one. It's great encouragement, great confidence boost for the squad. Not that they needed it. They are FaZe clan after all. 4-0.
Trapped underneath.
Thank you very much for your service.
Perfect start to a CT side, especially in a deciding map.
Chat, remember if you're not here to check in to watch your ads, make sure you guys are using your primes and not, don't forget about your primes as well.
HP and IP so now.
No map, best knife.
Scary
Really?
stuff.
Really? The best knife? No map? Really?
Could be a little disappointed. That's a shot he knows he should have hit.
is not bad,
Him or
but
well, they won't be able to meet him.
Bass?
Gives them info that maybe this yard play is not a fit.
Delta, thank you so much for 37 on
So they
37.
tried
Thank
to
you.
spam. The timing isn't quite right, but that means Carrigan will rotate down to B. Oh, Broky's already down there as well. They've got two CTs ready.
Bro. Man, these cables are just gonna be the end of me here, huh?
Carrigan will see 2 on the death can. There are 3 in tow though, and Robson's getting active. 3 on 3, 36 seconds left. Brokey trying to reset the situation. Downstairs.
God dang it.
Seems like it will be.
Yeah, I don't know
Special animation is the Nomad.
what I can do here. The problem is that
20
these
seconds.
cables are so stiff that they're pushing back on the install.
20 HP. Down he
So when I
goes.
go to
0 for face.
squish it down,
Animation is one where you almost stab yourself in game. That's crazy.
NIP thought there is no way he could have snuck around the silo. They started fumbling around. They thought they had a free bomb plot. They thought they had completely outmaneuvered FaZe, but Twists is the man who
Detroit Coney Dog.
outmaneuvered
I don't
them.
know what makes it Detroit, but I've had Coney Dogs and they're really
See
good.
a few words from Neo, but honestly, I don't know if they're needed right now. FaZe 5-0 up, looking so good.
Brokey's 9-0 up.
Yeah.
Having a great time on you.
But I do like Nomads aren't bad. Nomads aren't
A
bad.
fantastic start to a CT side of Nuke. Brittle at all for face clan. Ninjas and Pajamas will be on the
Goldenberg,
pistols.
dude.
2 frags apiece, save for Hetrick, who's 0-0-5.
Detroit style pizza's gas. Hold on. Let me just
Intense
gift you a
music,
sub. Hold on.
but not an intense game right now if FaZe keep this up. Maybe pace is the answer for
Best
NIP.
thing I've seen
you're
in
right,
here all
they're
day.
getting
Here you go. Have
something
a
done.
sub.
They're running through the flames, and Rops might just execute them. Line up for 3. Brokey arrives, doesn't land a shot. So that could open the door to a
Detroit
right
dogs
takedown
are hot
runner.
dogs with chili,
There is already a
onion, and
CT down there.
mustard. Isn't that just what?
He saw that coming.
Oh, no cheese.
okay, so this is just not wanting to cooperate with me here.
Isn't that just like a
Twist
Coney
denies.
dog?
Good
Like,
crunch pick from Twist.
I don't think that's just a Detroit thing.
Brokey's finally been fragged though. 6-0 for FaZe clan. They are running away with this series the way this is going on. How do Ninjas and Pajamas turn things around?
Cheese is not
They've
blowing
had
a hot
that
dog.
control, but still haven't been able to put FaZe down.
Chili, cheese, onion, mustard.
And in these rounds, 4 players surviving, 3 in the last one. FaZe clan
Curry sauce different than chili though. True. Yeah, it is. It's like
You
less
can often
thick.
be that. When you're just trying to chip away that CT economy until you break it, but NIP's got to do more in that regard.
Ooh, one of those smokes.
No cheese?
has
Yeah,
been
fuck that.
denied,
Give me the
so
cheese, dude.
NIP have to use a 4th smoke just to connect the wall.
That sounds fire. Well, that's like.
FaZe might have
I mean, I'm sure it's in other
really
places, but
much of a quick
as many
response
of you guys
from
know,
NIP there.
Cincinnati chili is or
They
Skyline
also
chili.
have
That's how they do
Rops
their
on a
Coney
secondary
dogs.
snipe that down secret. So I don't think those early smokes from
Chili,
NIP
onion,
are
mustard,
really going to
cheese.
cause any response here from FaZe. 3 CTs on A, including that over Brokey.
But Chicago dogs are good.
As well,
The peppers are so nice with it, man. Holy shit.
Raised armor penetration.
Okay. All right. I think that is going to be literally as good as I'm going to get it.
I'll have a ketchup and mustard hot dog, but
All right, so now
Going into the A-bomb site. Brokey is waiting.
we have to apply basically pressure here.
20 seconds. Rops 1v3. Where is he?
I'm actually going to remove the Joy-Cons real fast just so I can get this thing nice and even.
where's Chris?
This is
Chris on the board.
It's definitely tense for an IP, my word. And there's more work for him to do because FaZe have the money to buy.
Yeah, pretty impressive round win for NIP, considering FaZe had all the info. Carrigan going down early definitely attributed to that. But then also, I think just Brokey not having the assistance from Twist on the side.
Joy-Cons out. Now, just need to come over here now. And oh god, I hope this works because I don't know what I would do if it doesn't.
It's not like horrible, it's just not, yeah, not really what I'm looking for.
Quite the big headshot, wondering where the CT was, had to be somewhere. Great awareness from Rez. So they've got control of Ramp. There's a minute on the clock.
Try not to go too hard here. I don't want to break the screen underneath. But I think, thankfully, we got that perfectly aligned. The adhesive stuck. Alright. Alright. I think we got it. God, this is just nerve-wracking, man. You know, if this was my own device, I probably wouldn't care so much, but this is for a little girl. And I really don't want to ruin anything. I mean, it was already broken, but unfortunately, I don't have any spare blue screens. But that looks good. God, I hope that's aligned right, because there really ain't stuff I can do about it. I mean, it looks, looking at the border of this, it looks good. I don't have any, a slight, well, that's just probably because of that. I think we're good. I think we are good. Okay. Yeah, we definitely need to get back in the forest, man. I've been kind of bored past couple nights, but I've been playing a lot of Zelda. And yeah, we're doing some, I had to do a screen swap for a friend of mine. I sold him this Switch, and it was for his daughter, and apparently something happened to the LCD and it broke, and so I needed to replace it. And my first time ever doing this. It's not been fun. I mean, it's been fun, but it's not been fun because it's just so nerve-wracking working with these things. Now, I don't think. I think that just has to lie flat. And this is what comes through here. If I do that, and that, and just hold on to this while I slide everything into place here. Okay, just gotta make sure everything is in place. It does not look to be. Gotta get that in there. There we go. Okay, okay. All right, well, I think what we're gonna do now Uh, Felch, you are 100% correct. I normally don't ever do screen swaps. There is a couple of extenuating circumstances with this particular model, though. One, this is for my friend's daughter, who is a good friend of mine, and I sold him this Switch. And two, the only way I did this install was I asked if they wanted me to do it, then I needed them to have me purchase them a laminated screen so that it takes off the hardest part of the job, which is aligning the LCD and the digitizer. So they agreed. And honestly, the laminated screen wasn't really much more expensive, if it was more expensive than the regular screen.
Yeah, that'll help. Says Carrigan. I love it.
So
Absolutely love it.
here we are, and I'm literally sweating bullets doing this. I just finished getting the screen swapped in,
Give it a chance. And there's a glimpse of what
and I've been at it since 11, so it's been a while.
4 USBs in the CZ, right? Maybe
But, and I say this as a big but, again, this is a good friend of mine for his daughter, who definitely looked to be pretty upset that her Switch was not working. So I wanted to get it fixed up for her. Okay.
to a case. Is it a pacey round for an IP? That is the answer they want. Rez runs out early. Flashes look good. Rez has spotted a couple of players, but he hasn't killed any of them. Carrigan's still up above. How have they not dealt with that man? They haven't got a single kill out onto A. And it's all gone wrong. Crazy for getting kills through the smoke. Carrigan arrives up above. It is a
Alright, so we're gonna just run through. I'm gonna try to get some power going. I'm gonna do a very truncated install here. I just want to see if we can at least get to see the screen. Okay. Alright, so that is that. Now, get the motherboard going here.
he's banging.
Okay.
Get you one more.
Oh, so needless to say, yeah, I've not been very comfortable doing this repair, but I learned. And I mean, at the end of the day, it's not like, it's not rocket surgery. It's just not a fun job. And it doesn't have much room for error, which is why I generally stay away from them, because it's one thing if it's my device and I screw it up, but this is somebody else's, and I'm like essentially practicing on their kid's device, so like, you know, like it's a little nerve-wracking. I mean, I understand what I'm doing, but there's a difference between those so-called book smarts versus street smarts, you know, like
Yeah, but it has to be device though. True.
knowing how to do something versus actually having done something is a huge difference.
10-2 for FaZe Clan.
Okay. And that went in very nice. Good. Now this is the digitizer I'm putting in now. I don't know why I just thought that was backwards, but I just thought that was backwards. I was like, they sold me a backwards cable. No. Now, the other kind of weird thing about these new screens is all these cables aren't kinked right. So they do not want to go in their home. Ah, that went in pretty good though. Those zips are pretty nice. Okay, so now
It's like Sky TV or whatever, right? Or something like that.
pull this away a little bit. This disconnect that for now.
Those beans are expensive. Goddamn, guys.
So these connectors are pretty fragile. This one less than the one in the logic board, but still handle it with kid gloves. Because it doesn't really like when you misalign things, so just take your time.
We'll just pay a ton way too much for a TV chat. No big deal.
That's right, I wanted to soak this with a little alcohol, but
He found your mouse.
That's psychological warfare. To twist a beat squeaky like that, that's an outrageous play, an outrageous risk.
yeah, that's not wanting to. Okay, let's try this again. I might need to do this one under the scope actually, just because I think I'm gonna have to clean this. I think I replaced this connector. That's all looking good.
Weird. It's doable though.
Maybe the one weak spot in FaZe's setup right now. Smoke will start to give the game away, but MLP have got a reasonably good chance at getting this bomb down. Problem is, FaZe will now start to close in on them. They've got to get a move on.
Teams have control of control. It's a very strong angle for Rez, but Fox will try to find a way. Carrigan playing off of the distraction, and the oppression continues. Rez in a 1 versus 3. Now down to the 1v1. Rain forcing him away. He's got to get Rain. Not sticking it though.
Dude, I wish you
Yeah, there's definitely some flux in there, which we should probably clean out when I do the full install, which I will clean out when we do the full install.
There we go. Rest. Super rest.
Something to
Can't remember who he was again. Oh shit, I'm rest. That's
is
great.
capable of flashy plays like that. That'll help them try and get back into the game mentally, because those were some brilliant shots.
Are easy, dude.
And that's especially after the round started so badly. You lose 2 players.
I really not, man, I'm just all over the place. Okay, well, moment of truth, I guess.
And my team were like,
2 more rounds to claim in this half.
And we've got
and
nothing.
the rest was like,
No one got early. Utility.
Okay, so,
Rain is always a
oh, shit.
traffic jam secret. Sound cues to be heard there by Rain.
very accurate, very accurate.
We might have something. We might not. I'm not sure.
Fox will finally go down to B.
Now let's.
The aggression could work for FaZe though.
Is it a lobby crunch?
Lose one area, might be take somewhere else back.
Okay, so we got the battery unplugged now.
Whoa, 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 who was
we're gonna have to remember to actually plug the backlight in.
Stick up.
Now this is
You have 1 minute
another
on
issue
you.
because this cable is also not bent, so it does not want to go into its home.
I'm looking at the clock.
Oh. You saw the arm?
5-on-3.
Rather see FaZe win.
What?
Chris is here, so we have equal representation for both teams. Also, I am a sucker for a good game.
Okay.
I fell asleep watching that Overpass game, so I wanna.
Okay, so got that, and then we're gonna.
The Rops was just had a fucking field day, which is
Like that Raj game, even though FaZe lost, like.
We're gonna use the USB method here.
Yeah, it was interesting for FaZe there. 'Cause
All right, pray for me, boys. I don't think this is gonna work, but
Steps in chat.
down
He's
lower.
been dealt
But
with
it's only
chat.
really one player making any noise. And we know that
it works.
been going down there in a lot of the rounds after the smokes are thrown. I was thinking maybe once
It works.
run round the corner, for example, maybe you could figure out that step is him trying to bait for a trade frag. But it's still hard to know exactly whether it's that B side in play. And they would have hoped that
this was the weather before it.
just landed that first shot.
Whenever.
Also, credit to Headtrick because he
No,
was so ready for Rox's angle. It is a fairly common position on top silo, but the way that door went open and he instantly had his crosshair in the right place for the headshot.
No, I didn't ban you.
Clearly wise
I
to
forgot
Rox's
about it.
tricks.
To go right to my word.
So fourth round.
All right, first screen repair is a success. Let's go. Had to get up and walk a little bit because I'm fucking kind of stoked about it, honestly. Oh boy, that's a load off my chest. That is a load off of my chest. So I've just got to get here pretty much reassembled completely. I'm gonna go ahead and
Rops is here. Alright.
send him a congratulations. Well, well.
Hey man, we're gonna need to buy into some other nationality to make NA proud, you know.
Hey.
That's interesting, Chris. I see some non-Swedish players on your fucking roster, bud.
At least 4 out of 6 players are Swedish.
Ben's counting the coach to make the odds look better. That's crazy.
3 out of 5.
Oh man, what a load off my mind, honestly.
How many?
That is a load off of my mind. So let's just go ahead and
Well, FaZe, Wild has one
The
representative.
one, yeah, exactly.
Well, what's the?
did want to make sure.
Yet, so wait and
Yeah, but
see.
I said Cologne though. I didn't say playoffs.
One.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
Training player.
Cool. You all will excuse me for just a moment. I need to use the bathroom, and then we'll get back to reassembly and move on to the next project.
I think they will.
Me too. They've been playing good. Don't voice crack. They've been playing good though.
Voice crack.
He will clear out Isaac over in the corner here on B, opening up the route to the bomb. Acorn's going to make it around. That was the opportunity, but the bomb gets in. And the crossing is silenced.
Oh,
Ted's all going to do it.
annoying when he sees.
Acorn in the head-to-head. Anymore! The AWP!
Damn, bro.
But it's 1910 though.
Do it.
9 Oh,
Yeah, man.
there we go. One more, buddy. One more for the road. There we go.
I love Chris's delay.
The second spot from the Butcher did it back in Katowice 9-10. Now is his own legacy here on Mirage. Oh, that beautifully played clutch.
That was basically he was screaming when he won the round, by the way.
Exactly how high to aim.
Thanks for your 50-month power. Thank you, dude. Wow, wow, wow.
7-round
Put on the
lead
other
for
game
FaZe
on
Clan on the final map of this series. Nuke is here, and
It's like a
my
PC
words,
to know what's
Brokey was
happening.
all over that half. 20 frags and
Oh
only
shit,
4
they
deaths.
faked their asses off
LIP
on
were
me.
given
On a
absolutely
heat
nothing apart from grief on from Carrigan
But they should
between
know that they're
rounds.
planted now. Yeah.
But
Before we do though.
they take 4 rounds into the second
This
half,
round, second, Chris.
and with that they have a chance.
Yeah.
A slither, a
Here we
cinder
go.
baby.
They picked up
So they
90%
can
of
fire
their
with.
screen, so
They've been good on the pistol rounds for this series. This one is the most urgent of them all.
250 in the hands of Twists. Know how good he can be in pistol rounds.
8-1, I think it is.
Molly has tickled Rez.
D-Man, thanks for the 22-month resub. Boys, we are one off another motherfucking game train. Another one.
Jalen Twists robotic on that flick up to heaven. They'll cross down to low, and Colvix here to meet them. Oh, I'm still looking up top. He's going to deny the impression.
Oh, boy.
Robson just hit to punish
Oh, there you
people.
go. That's bomb. That's
Has
bomb.
the bomb for now, but can he hold it for long? Not really. The T's will swarm. Preventing CT's are here as well. Conflict doing what he can. He's off position now because up the stairs they go.
Oh, my God, a lot of blood.
3v2. Conflict making his way up to get slapped down by Rain. Roland with 2 pistols, 3 people to shoot.
Conflict's trying his best. Activate the
Easy
randomness.
one.
Brian, we were watching. We got to see it on the stream while we were chilling, bro.
Very easy one. He wonders.
Alrighty, ready. So now begins the fun process of reassembly, and I have to, unfortunately, undo a lot of this, but it is what it is.
Time out.
Yeah.
That was fun. You can go to the toilet. Go to the toilet not work.
You know what? Before I screw this connector up, we're gonna just get a little bit of some alcohol in there, and then we're gonna kind of clean that one out a little bit. Okay. Trying to be careful here because
On a flight to Jersey.
Shot could have been attempted. Decides to let them go.
I'm jet-lagged.
Atlas is called to battle. Oh, look at Carragher jumping around the corner, making sure that deep can't land the immediate headshot. And things are pretty cool in on this B-ball side
I'm
right now.
jet-lagged.
okay. So I gotta.
Pretty flight stress. You know, I think it's called waking my fat ass up at 3 in the morning every fucking day to watch Counter Strike.
Okay. So hopefully when I go to
Keep streaming after.
reassemble this, since I've kinked these cables some, it'll be a little easier to install, but
I land Thursday.
not by much, I'm guessing. So we've got 2 screws in here that are holding you down. Or 1 screw now, actually. I only put one in. Oh, I completely forgot to pull power, but that's alright. Okay, so I'll just stick that right there. That should just let me pull you out. Okay, we're gonna real quick.
I think this time FaZe would be favourites if they make it to that winners matchup. This is looking more
Just gonna douse this connector here real quick. Just a little bit of alcohol. If there's any residual flux in there. There we go. See, that's closing a little bit better now. It was so stiff. Usually when it's like that stiff, it's a sign of just a little bit of extra flux that got trapped in there. It looks like I had changed this connector at some point too, so unfortunately that's just with these FPC connectors a very common problem, is that flux just seeps in pretty easy. But the good thing is that they're not too difficult to clean out, just requires a little bit of attention here. Scrub, and then you flip the latch up and down a couple of times. very carefully flip the latch up and down a couple of times, and then squeegee it off with a
Hopefully it's better than
cotton bud.
But there's just that kind of stuff, you know what I mean?
So we're gonna let that dry off for a second here. Let's get her Joy-Cons hooked back in, and then the buttons and all that jazz, and
Hard for an MP to actually move this around. Not counting it out yet.
okay, got that. Perfect. Just don't want to rip her power flex up here, so we'll be gentle. And there we go. Okay. And we are wanting to careful, no alcohol on the screen, but we should be good. There's still a plastic protection over them. Okay, now this one goes.
Like the people that run these events, they don't know or care who the fuck I am. They're worried about running like this shit. And they're just like, where do you need this extra PC? Okay. Like when I went to Dallas, like I didn't have, there was like a password on the PC and then it was set up like a player's SSD, which means I couldn't access the internet. So that was fun.
Dump some of those out real quick, make my life easier. Joy-Con replacement's pretty easy for anyone out there who's not done it. It's a good way to get your kind of feet wet in learning how to disassemble and reassemble stuff. There's no soldering required. It's relatively pretty easy. That did not want to fit in there.
Honestly, the chat was so fucking nice today before Harold got here. Only way it could even possibly get worse is if he even shows up.
I did. Okay, got that one going. Let's get the other guy. Now I think they also have these set up in a way that, yeah, they only go one way. So you can't even really theoretically install them wrong. Now you got to make sure you don't trap the backlight cable underneath like I was just about to try to do. But they do only go in one way. So you got that going for you at least.
They're just bots that whisper you. Because you guys are the whisper zone. Continue, Chris.
Okay.
The Derby. He's gonna use this in a PS Pro.
Does not feel like it's gonna fit either. Oh, it did. Okay. All right. So now we got to get her buttons back into place here, and we need the minus button. And that would be this guy right here. Now, I've found that the best way to do buttons is just to kind of grab them with a pair of tweezers. They're indexed, so they only fit in one way. And a lot of these membranes are kind of universal. I'm pretty sure they are anyway. Let's take a look at what we got. And that's the home and picture buttons right there. And then I'm gonna need, okay, that's, I think, just take a look at this one and this one. I think I might be wrong on the universal fit because this looks slightly different. See how these are, no, that should be plus and minus right there, so. Yeah, they're universal. Okay. Sorry, it's actually kind of been a minute since I've really disassembled a light here. Doing a lot of work on normal switches lately. Kind of gave up on the lights a little bit just because, unfortunately, they seem much more prone to liquid damage than the full size versions did. And I kept getting skunked on them way too much, so I stopped. Let's clean this up a little bit. I think we're gonna give most of her buttons here a scrub.
Then it's Heroic Monster, Cloud9, and the other one.
Good enough to qualify, we'll make it, bro.
Now still invested into utilities, they can still pose a threat on this burst towards the A-box.
Now the button membrane and the D-pad membrane are not universal. The D-pad membrane will have a hole in the middle of it for the D-pad. Now, I do remember this one had some glitter on it. Let's just give it a little quick little scrub off with some alcohol. Might as well refurb everything while I'm in here, because no reason for someone to have a less than almost feeling brand new switch. So we got that going for us. Okay. It goes just like this. And you want the carbon pads to face towards you. Okay, and that should be that side. Oh, nope, I am missing the square button, which is the picture. Now, this guy definitely has an proper orientation. So just line up the little plastic bits and you're good to go. Okay, we got that in there. That should, I think, be that side. So now I can get the daughter board on to hold everything in place. Or at least what we'll do is we'll get one screw in there. Help if I put the... Oh, I'm not even doing this on screen. Oh, whatever. Okay, so let's just make sure... Okay. And then I had the one big silver screw out already, just to lock everything into place for the time being. Perfect. Okay, so that... Good click on that. Good click on that. That's wiggling just fine. Okay. Now we got to move over to the buttons. It will never stop annoying me how Nintendo decides to lay their buttons out. But it is what it is, you know. I can't really... I guess I can't really change it. I am missing the... Oh, there it is, right in front of my face. Okay, so... Let's see here. I do believe... X, and then A is going to be off to the left here. B is in the bottom. And then Y is on the right when you're looking at it, and on your left when you're playing a game. Okay, and then we take our little membrane and plop you on top. Now we got our plus sign. And then everything is indexed. And this one is another one where it's a little easier to use your tweezers. Alright. Okay, there you go. Got you dropped in there, and that's just another one of these gray membranes. Okay. Okay, we got that going, and now we've got our home button. Which again, this also fits in just one way, and the membrane is also designed to only fit in one way.
That is painful.
You know, hilariously, I always get it wrong.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And there we go.
Still takes 300 biddies, by the way.
So now once we have all of those in place, we can put the motherboard in. And here is the motherboard.
What's the other match right now? That's gonna make that models.
Okay, now we're gonna grab up this Joy-Con before it's too late. And I'll pull up the digitizer cable. And then we're good to go. I'm gonna secure the Mobo down with just one screw. Maybe two.
I'm just updating my stuff for right now, you know.
One of these will go into the USB.
Yeah, we'll watch Monty Bruin capture this. So.
And then the other one
Yeah, phase one.
will go up top.
Strong Bo, thanks for the 29-month timer. Thank you. Chat, I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. I'll be back.
Perfect. That lets me flip everything over. And then just check all the buttons real quick. Clicking in good. Clicking in good. Okay. All right. That is good to go. So now we just gotta basically, oh shit. I guess I can't do that just yet. I'll loosen the fasteners here just a little bit just to give myself some room. Oh, I'm gonna let slide the speaker on in. Black. I must be missing a great match here, so it is. Oh, this is Mao's. Never mind. I guess I have shit. I don't know how that frickin' phase match ended now. Damn it. I wonder if they're on break. I think they're on break. Okay. Now we're good to just pretty much start the final reassembly process. And of course, before I really go too far, what I'm going to do is we'll go through and do a function check. And the good thing about screen replacements, though, is that there is no soldering involved. So theoretically, I really shouldn't expect to see any issues when I go and turn it on and do another function check. Now the digitizer was working and the screen was working, and those were the two things that I changed. So provided that's still the case here, I think we should be good to go. Of course, I'll do the old initial Wi-Fi test, and I'll just have to remember, tell him to change his Wi-Fi back. Okay, and we're gonna get the fan. Uh-oh. Man, this is the Twitch Xbox app has been struggling the past like 6 months for some reason. They changed something on their back end, and it goes down so often. I've got to go refresh streams a lot, and it's just on the Xbox app. So that is whatever they did is not good. There we go. I got to reload it. Just to show you how infected by Nintendo and playing Zelda I am, I just was trying to hit the A button, which is the bottom button on the Xbox controller, and I was hitting the B button, which is the right side button, because that's how they are in Nintendo controllers.
Just because you make such a run and then you get your best player sniped, you get the captain robbed as well. At the same time, everyone's in the
All right, now we need the game card reader, which is right here.
I like this sort of game where you're not over-committing off of their entry. You can let their players learn first. They are so split up. Even if they commit to be late, someone just needs to probe and find them.
Holy shit, it's just getting worse.
So they're not walking into
My
a trap.
God.
So either they group back to aim with Bolt, he goes first.
Got her.
You have a 2v1.
Download thanks for putting on the camera, thank you. God damn it.
Game Legion are trying to play as safe as they can. As Techno grabs his kill, rotates out.
Let's not quit already. That's what, sorry, Chef, for being
All right, here we go. I was like, why are you fighting me? Normally this is one of the easier installs. Alright, so we're just going to secure the game card reader with one corner, audio jack with the other. Okay, now we're going to start getting our shoulder buttons in place here. So this is the right. Okay. Oh, that's ZL. I need ZR. And membrane for it is right here.
Like, imagine making the run they did to the major and then, like, you're just absolutely struggling in the initial stage of Crucicola.
If they rise from this, they're asking for it.
Yep, he'll give it to him. Oh, nice shot. Delete time 10.
I think I could do it this way. Not my favorite way of doing it, but it works. And that's the reason why it's not my particular favorite way of doing it, because it doesn't seem like it ever wants to line up right. Let's do that. There we go. No, still not lined up right. I always end up just figuring out how to kind of get the stick in the housing.
Well, sure, it's you. I mean, I don't know, dude.
They've got to try and get this all back.
I feel like it hurts the players that are actually there even more, which kind of sucks. It's just like, oh yeah, dude, they got carried by their own shooting. And like, they did. Like, I mean, they were phenomenal pieces, but
Okay, that looks to be okay. Let's just get one screw in and then just test again. And then we'll move on to the other side.
Are they cut out there? We don't know if you need another kill.
yeah, luckily Hugo told us.
I'm very, very glad that Neil had finally
He did?
made
I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, but Hugo said he couldn't.
Okay, that feels pretty good.
Yeah, I don't have.
Okay, we're good there.
That's good.
Move over to the other side. So the other side, we're gonna get you. Should be able to. Maybe if I do it this way. Let's do it this way. I'm gonna start with this screw. Okay. There we go. And let's get the speaker put into place here.
Hugo is live. Hoffman.
I'm gonna text with a 16 month time. I'll come back, dude. Sit right down. That model look good.
Oh wait, that's right.
Yeah, look good since the play.
We've got that hooked in, so now I can actually do this the easy way. Slide you in with no problem, and then the speaker is what's holding everything down in place like that. And I gotta pull out my bag of tricks here.
Don't tell me you're gonna watch the Mirage one again.
No, I answered. There's a new one.
Yeah, it's on Twitter. It's a good one. You will love it.
Okay. And now I need you. Brass screw.
Second way it just moves. So I mean, you have like there's like a few fiber providers. It just depends on where you're at. Cox Fiber is fine. Cox is a company, not fine, but the fiber's good, so you're chilling. The other one is like called like
All right.
it's like CenturyLink, but it's called like.
So now I need to find another one of these tall silver screws.
Third one, but I'm spacing on the name right now.
And that goes on the left side of the board here. And we have a brass screw, which goes right underneath that.
If you have the CenturyLink one, it's gonna be way cheaper than the Cox one.
Huh, looks like my
Almost got him.
overhead cam mount is not looking the greatest, so I gotta tighten that up, I guess. Alright, so we got that. Let's make sure we hook in the backlight while I'm still looking at it. Alright, so let's try this again here. So this is the problem that we have with these fresh cables is that they just don't want to bend like they should bend here.
When do I get worried for models? 10?
Let's try maybe using 2 screwdrivers. Ooh, let's not leave that on the board. Boop.
No, there you go. You're calling it. Wait. Oh no, they're jumping the gun.
It just hurts it against your feet when there's something around, right?
There you go, drinks it. It's over.
That's a sign of the times, right? Showing how
If this is
successful
68 after I said that shit, I get 5 gifted.
you may as well just take a breather. 5 straight rounds for the Legion after we reset every single time.
There we go. Took two tweezers instead of one. We are in place. That leaves us with the Joy-Con rail and then the speaker, which are decidedly going to be a little bit easier. Oh, the Joy-Con flexes are always a little fun because they're all slick, but these in particular just seem extra slick. And okay, now this guy goes just in this little socket right here. Son of a biscuit, come on. All right, she is in place. So that is pretty much the big pains of the daughter board slotted away. Now I am gonna have to finish up here. We got the shoulder button. Okay, that's good. And then we're going to try the same thing. We're just going to hope the pad will stay in place. And actually, that's correct. We're going to probably should pull the power flex off, but we're good there. Okay, so now I need 2 more brass screws, and that will shore up the daughter board. And then I think I will be in place to go and just run through my normal tests and verify everything is still functional. Oh, I gotta hook up the obviously power in the other daughter board. Okay, I have one more. Daughter board connection here. Or, sorry, bumper screw I gotta put into place. And we're gonna hook up our Wi-Fi. Just to make sure that's still good.
Filled with rage. He likes my hair so. He even grows the same cut. But one game, he goes a little crazier than usual. I got the demo to defend myself. And he doesn't like that. Not one bit.
Perfect.
So, me watching, he goes and grabs plate. Laughing while he does it. He turns to me and he said,
Why so serious? Why so serious?
Blade sits down.
Why so serious?
He loads the demo and says,
Let's see what Blade finds under the...
Oh yeah, that flex was 100% clogging up that daughter board connector because that just went in like butter. Like butter, baby. Okay, so now we got to do a little bit of
So, I got my hair to start fresh.
If you want to know how I got this hair,
testing.
20 years of North
First things
American
first,
talent strikes.
is the power on with the power flex connector. It does.
It was good.
Well, it's good, right?
Yeah, it was good. That was good.
Oh no. That's not good.
Fucking A. That was...
Well, that's an M92 error.
Starts in 6 minutes. Yeah, let's stay here. Monty versus Heroic, chat. Monty versus Heroic. Here we go.
What the heck? Well, that worked that time.
Individually, we just focus on the team overall and our pictures like the teams.
Final question. Yesterday, Heroic played a marathon versus the Mongols, and Kenyon was shouting a lot.
Okay, I don't know why that just happened.
Is there anything special prepared in that?
Try with a
Are you gonna go in?
charging cable. Oh, wow, it is definitely shorted.
Sound as loud as possible because they will be loud as well.
Looking forward to it. Thank you.
No, never mind, just the cable.
Some young taking on Acadian here, but really, let's just address what's
Holy crap.
teams playing the land face to face, going at each other. But it's pretty vibrant here.
She just developed an M92 error out of nowhere. This is why? Why? Okay, let's do a couple of things real fast. Okay, that's back.
Yeah, Counter-Strike's an addicting track. Yeah, good shit.
Oh, bring it on.
Hey, dude, answer phone. We're killing the show.
Here, I know that it's going to be making the front page of basically every social media site.
Say it, wait a minute. Yeah, just call them out. They're Redditors. They have, they go by Redditors.
But I just think that when we see that sort of intensity,
Must be me doing something here. All right, so left, down, right, and up is working. Screenshot works. Minus works. All that's working.
Music, baby. Oh.
All the buttons work. Plus works. Click. And home gets me to home screen. Let's just see if we can see internet.
more or less been just stealing our breath. Right now, they might actually be beating Gamer Legion, which is going on the B stream, but for Katie and company, when I talked to him,
I can see my internet, so that's working.
they have their weird way of playing, but if you take them out,
Okay.
they don't really have anything to fall back on. But man, that style
I'm kind of waiting for that fan to kick on, so we're gonna
yelling across the room and show that huge.
do a real quick game test.
There's a couple reasons you go about screaming, yelling live on land, right? There's a psychological component to that.
Copy that again. As soon as
There's
well.
also, hyping up your own side.
Hey, you gonna ditch me, dude?
The right mind state, kind of capitalizing on it.
Okay, games still work.
What's wrong with being at door?
You can see that the Mario Kart popped in, and if I click it in one more time, you can see the little symbol right there popped up. Okay, got that going. All right. And then last thing I gotta do is just check the Joy-Cons real fast.
So you're saying that the reason why Katie was getting so animated when he was going out there getting different noobs and whatever, it was because he was under so much pressure. And that's a kudos to the Monkeys. That's what we give credit to them. I hope Muncie will be able to do the same thing
Okay, that's working.
with each other. And I don't really care whether or not Heroic is the best.
And then the other one.
25th or 30th. These two teams are going to go at each other on even playing. I'm just glad
Perfect.
you
Okay.
said something smart. I'm just going to say I'm glad to have you here. So now
And then the last thing to check real fast is she did have an SD card, so we're gonna.
So, Exist, what a marathon yesterday versus the Mongols. And actually, you just said I'm still a bit shaky from then. So, how's the recovery going?
Well, this should tell me that it wants to restart. Okay, it did. Now we just gotta turn it off and finish up the reassembly process and
This today could be a tricky one. Monty has been doing very, very well. Of course, you beat them back.
call it good. All right, she is working.
So, what's the game plan for maybe making
She is working, so that's good. That is really good. I don't know why those M92 errors are popping up, so I'm gonna have to warn him about that. And I'll gladly take care of that if that's a consistent issue. It could just be because maybe I had my finger in a spot where I shouldn't have. It's,
Mirage. Oh, I got it. Thank you. Thank you, Mons. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
They just need to focus. Okay. I don't think luck plays a factor. Focus. Maybe there's
Jesus.
Probably target SDY on that A side of things, and so I think Rogue are going to be coming into this with a good game plan that doesn't involve Monk.
It's also part of the strategy.
Why is this has to be surrounded by Danish people? What the hell, dude?
Okay, now she needs some fresh thermal paste. I do have that fan in there, I do. Okay. Good. Good chunko paste. I do like how they let me know I'm halfway through this tube already. Maybe order another one here once I get down to a quarter. Alright, now we've got our... Now this is when I was using the Corsair paste, so just because it's good practice, I always clean off all the existing paste when I can. I don't ever really think that you're going to have like compatibility issues or anything like that, but I just feel like it's good practice to kind of clear things off and have a fresh plate, so to speak, to allow for the new paste to adhere to, and that way it doesn't mix and do funky things or whatever, which again it should not be an issue, but just in case it's one of those cover your ass, you know, like just make sure you set yourself up for success. And again, when you're working on this heat pipe, be careful. The actual pipe, it is very soft copper. It will deform if you look at it wrong. And as with all switches, I like to install the radiator first and then squish down. And we just kind of squish and move it around a little tiny bit. That does not feel right, so we're going to not use that screw there. I don't know what that came from, but there we go. Okay.
55 minutes still, blah blah blah. They're like 30 minutes before. Yeah, the shower. Oh shit, I needed to do that. I needed to do that.
Just fucking around the house.
Where they hype themselves up before these series start, no wonder they come in with nothing but flames on the server itself. Sending it in mid on that pistol round. Starts they need to go one, but Monty looking to do the same as they encroach the A bomb site. Waiting for their smokes to go. The pop flash is here as well. Shush will fall back, stand of a tight angle by Jungle.
I don't know where those came from. Just looking around, making sure I'm not missing any screws. I'm not. Okay, looking good on both sides, so... Should I always...
Now it's not good. The fight is no longer good.
Okay. So this is a brass screw right here.
Who strikes first?
I thought Demko was going to get loud after that, but no, he's chilling for now. Look at that wide up though, the second player just swings straight into the crosshair. Headshot high from Demko. No, he's relaxed for now, he's not yelling yet. Maybe Monty trying to stay focused in this one. Put that SG out from Loro. You will sometimes see
Oh shit, that went in very freaking wrong.
SS just re-smoked Palace. He's hoping
What the
to
heck?
that there's more presence on A than there actually
Alexander
is.
Oh shoot.
Elsewhere.
He's a liar.
That's Mr. Bro to us, chat, actually. Sir Bro.
Probably for the best anyway. Third and the fourth man head towards the ramp. Star has a lot.
Means Bridge
Okay.
is Bro
And then
English.
the last one here.
Smoke grenade. Alice went off at least, but
Motherfucker's like, I'm a bridge. That's right. I can't talk, I'm a flood.
Heavy's also here. Flashes. Warwick has still got time to position himself towards CT. He can still make this dirty, gritty, grimy. Where is Warwick off to?
RJ names his kid Bro. Holy shit. Bro Bro?
I just cruising, it's cruising near Mohammed.
Fuck.
Yeah, that must have just been some weird, just a weird, like, I must have been touching something, or I don't know, but okay. Alright, so I think we're good to go ahead, put the case on.
Love that from Warwick. Smart enough to realise that he could be in position with that SG. Clearly had a plan for it the whole time. I was worried he was going to be a little too far away.
Okay.
Got there at the right time to make sure the round doesn't get
Sounds cheated. That didn't even say it was through smoke.
the kill feed's lying.
No, was it smoke glitch? Did he get it? I wonder if he got
Okay.
smoke glitch.
But the devs say that they do think Heroic will be back to their best here, that they've got a good chance of even taking away Monty's map pick. See if that can continue. Monty right now is
There's a whole town in Sweden called
any
Bro.
time in this round. And it is another force from Heroic. Tesses doing damage early. He's got the rotate arriving from Yavi with
I've
the
had
D.
this other
Yavi's
happen
looking for
sometime.
a
I'm
fight
pretty
as
sure
well.
I did. Could be wrong.
Huge damage in the process, and all of Monty chiming with kills at the same time. So this investment from Heroic has not paid off yet.
Tesses is still standing. Not any longer. 2 kills in the round. I'm loving the presence of this green 2 kills. That one. Once he start 3-0. What can he do with it then? Now that the well, actually, Moran will be coming a little later for Heroic.
Yeah, that was a little surprising from Heroic to invest into that round. Normally see the save there. It nearly worked, because like Monty, I don't think we're expecting the buy.
All right, and no bulges or anything funky like that. Just good old fashioned, ready to go back. So let's get you back. I always do the tri-wings first.
This is a weird fucking round.
Previous series to this one. Showing just with the Desert Eagle. Cadian and Stout coming in from that mid position after on distraction. Now let's just get involved. Maybe go jump peak. Find out where these players are. There is one by triple. Forced away, then there's them cut into the light. Crystal by triple has to stay alive for it.
That's right. I always put them.
Great angles for him. Doesn't need to engage this one. Cadian doesn't have a kit, but Warren doesn't have the angle, so Cadian could invite him to die on the side. He'll do that and get a scope for his troubles.
Fucking SG.
Hello. Our little one is awake from her one of her 100 naps that she takes during the day.
We've got banshees on the server.
This is going to be fun. So 1-0 Demka in the KV versus Demka yellow match, which we will be keeping track
I
of.
think that was 3-0 that. Just that.
Okay, yeah.
A lot of screaming.
Oh boy. Listen, that was a sketchy round from Monty though. Like, if I'm Heroic, I'm sitting there saying, you know what, we actually take that as a nice round from us. Because now Monty's money is low, and Heroic get a good buy for
Alright, so unfortunately, one of these, which I do believe is this one, is unfortunately broken. It won't accept the screw. And I think I actually got that wrong. It's probably the one I'm in now. Or not? Okay. Yeah, no, that's right. It wasn't the one on the right. That does kind of suck. I feel kind of bad about that. It's just, unfortunately, it's just one of the dangers of these damn things. You know, I mean, theoretically, if they were ever to buy a new shell, it would fix it, but I'd have to transplant the screen over, which, and after today, I don't know. I really want to stick with my guns and just say no to that kind of work, because it is stressful. Very, very, very stressful. This is the we're gonna clean off her sticks for her here real quick.
Business as usual for Heroic, it seems. I actually think yesterday, like them getting dragged into the emotions and the other match, I don't really think
A little bit of
honestly. I think
workbench gunk.
opposed team, their team plays almost
Just slightly different than gamer gunk. Close enough. But, trying to make sure that keep the liquid away from the LCD screen. Okay. Don't ever want to get isopropyl alcohol in an LCD. It will ruin it quite handily. Well, this is a laminated display, but so I'm going to leave the screen protector on.
I mean, in American sports, like Michael Jordan was known for like yelling at his teammates in practice if he didn't think they were doing well enough. You know, that's just part of the culture for them. So it can be a cultural thing for sure as well.
Yeah, rise above the pressure or be consumed by it. That is the history of competitive gaming sports, everything. Everybody will try to tilt their opposition. You can't deal with it. It's your problem.
Team Brute outside A early in this round. Again, Heroic getting active. Look at the mini-map. Heroic have fully cleared out mid. They'll start to rotate back to A. And they'll be here in
All right, and that repair is done. I can quite literally breathe a slight sigh of relief now.
Rise 5-1 and 3 for the remainder of Monty. A brutal way to try and just break the
Andrews,
ground
you
on
follow
this
the
A-ball
category that I like to tell people. If you're doing well or you're winning, talk shit. But in this case, if you're bottom tagging or losing, talk more shit.
And I did verify the charging was still working before, so this is good to go. And her SD card, just to double check, is in the unit. And then slide you in like so. Slide you in like that, and bam! She gets the satisfaction of pulling off her own screen cover. Oh, I think it's got a little kickstand attachment there too. That's kind of neat. It's a neat little case. It actually kind of makes us way more comfortable to play. Very good idea. Well, Mr. Steven, your daughter's case is good to go. Ooh, that's seen some use. You know, I don't know. Was this the one I gave them a case? I can't tell if this is the case that I gave them or not. It's a very, very cool little shell, though. Give it a little bit of a clean here while I'm at it. Can't hurt, you know. That's a well-loved Switch Lite, which makes me happy. I like seeing kids enjoy their consoles. That's what they're there for. That's why I got into this. This is honestly the whole reason that I kind of got into this. And even though I really don't actively want to work on screen replacement jobs, knowing that she's going to get back a perfectly functional device for basically the cost of parts, because I'm not going to charge him much for this. Now, if it was the other kid who was a little less careful with his devices, so to speak, I probably would have charged a decent amount, simply because you gotta pay the piper on that one.
You're actually not gonna shop for some lame internet shit? Probably not.
Okay, so now we gotta move on to the cool repair. Well, both are cool repairs, but this is kind of neat. I've never actually had to work on anything like this before, although it's a pretty basic repair. This is a little base for it's a bunch of LED lights, and then you put it in an acrylic top, right? Little piece of acrylic, and it's etched with a laser, and it's got a design on it, and it lights it up. And I've actually got something similar, and it does some Star Wars stuff. Apparently, Steven's wife, this is Steven's wife's toy, dislodged and removed the USB-C port. So I can see there's some glue. I'm hoping that's glue. It might actually be circuit board. I don't really see any pads on that pin, so I'm thinking if I can get into this, it should be a pretty basic repair. I did let him know that these things generally aren't really meant to be worked on, so sometimes... Uh-oh. Ooh, well, shoot. I gotta be real careful now. Unfortunately, that pin got... God dang it, I don't have an anesthesia mode. Okay, so we can see that right here, that's a pin that got bent. That 100% has a pad on it. Okay, so she took up a pad. If I'm lucky, that's a ground, and I won't have to worry about it. This is definitely circuit board. I thought this was glue. That's definitely circuit board. Probably use a little solder on the bottom of this to act as a mounting point, because I don't really... Yeah. So this is going to be an interesting one. It's going to be interesting. I think I might be able to fix this. I don't know, though. Really depends on what the inside looks like, and he did let me know, or I did let him know, that these things really aren't meant to be worked on. So if they're glued together, the chances of me getting them back together are pretty small. I'm thinking that there's a couple of screws under these rubber feet right here, and so we're going to just start by pulling them up. Yep, I was not wrong. Okay, so we'll free up these screws. Now the good thing is that usually this is probably just an LED driver board, so it's going to be very basic on the inside. The circuit board's probably the size of a freaking postage stamp. Let's get a slightly bigger Phillips for this, because this is not normal fasteners for me. Okay. Huzzah. Okay. Easy enough. And then we got one screw holding the circuit board on. I wasn't too far off about my predictions here. Now, okay. So there's, is that a power button? Yeah, that's a power button. Never mind. Guessing, I don't know what that does. Is it capacitive? It might be capacitive. Okay, so now let's just
No, I mean, I saw what you guys are doing. I just don't care.
okay, we're just gonna just shove all this together. Oh, well, that didn't really work, but
So Game's like, thanks for the 24-month timer. Thank you, appreciate you.
trying to leave the adhesive alone as much as possible, but fortunately that's not really working out for me.
Joy Slayer with the 2 views, dude. Absolute piss juice.
Alright, so let's just go ahead and
You've done it. You've done it.
move this off to the side.
His name is Bro. Who's gonna tell him his last
Now,
name? His name doesn't say Bro. What's the score of the game? Only doing the Marlins game right now.
Monty able to find the right end goal in one of these rounds.
okay, let's get this sponge wetted up for my soldering iron.
Thank you.
It's actually the first bit of soldering we're gonna have to do today.
Presence on B, he doesn't just get the free info, he has to communicate
Hey,
with
what's going
someone.
on?
Okay.
People are telling me Bro's a fucking village.
Okay. Now we're gonna
She's just playing really passive from CT, playing for info, playing for the rotate, and I thought that was going to be
take a quick little picture of this.
back in jungle to try and watch the cross, but instead he moved forward. I'm not sure if there was a miscall.
Just so I remember where the red and the white wires go. And we're gonna separate the battery compartment from the circuit board. Yeah, just as I thought, it's a pretty simple LCD circuit or LED circuit. Looks like we got an LED driver, a couple of diodes, some resistors. I think those are 2 capacitors up top here. I'm using the wrong tip for this job. So let's go ahead and not use that tip. And then switch over to something that is much more workable. If I can find it. Unfortunately, I have gotten a little messy lately. I think this is, no, that's not it. That is my JLO2. No, no, this is it. This is it. This is what I wanted. Get my wedge tip going on here. I don't know why I thought that was a good idea. Okay, so let's just go ahead and start working on the microscope here. No, those are definitely diodes. A little packed in tightly there, but okay. And this should be a little bit easier to get off. Okay, and I'll probably come in and clean those up and replace them with fresh leaded. So now we could take a look at the actual damage here and see what we're working with. And it's not looking good, I have to say. So okay, let's see what we got here. Now, yeah, so we can see what was going on here. put my meter into continuity mode. And all right, so these are probably obviously going to be ground. Okay, so that's a ground plane, and that's a power plane.
Tuesday. And then on Wednesday morning I leave. Then maybe play Tuesday. Well, no. we
But
can
the
play
weird
Tuesday.
thing, I don't know what's going on here.
Before.
So I'm going to grab the port real quick and just overlay it and see what's going on. So now
But I don't know.
the rip pads on the left.
I can't tell if it's Diablo or if it's me, but I can't.
It's
just-
box height is compromised.
It's really fucking mid.
Very difficult decision, but let's see how.
So I'm assuming
Nothing making me wanna play.
two left are power. The far left is the power. And the far right's going to be the ground. Unfortunately for me,
It's honestly not bad. It's just like
she ripped
just don't feel like playing.
power. But it's a simple enough design that I should be able to do some bodge wire work here. Now the tricky thing though is going to be
Pick the worst investment. Esports or game studio.
how am I gonna.
Why not make both at the same time? Become a team owner, make a game. Also, that game supports esports.
Okay, so let's just go ahead and clean this up a little bit.
Also, like, maybe they ground.
Man, if we could, I mean, we could convince people to give us some money. I'm down. We'll get Chris in there too. Throw Chris Sox's name on there.
Probably should put this into a board holder, but oh, we might actually be really lucky here. So it looks like that pad's still there. It's accepting solder. Those two on the far right are definitely ground. The two in the middle are no connect. So it is just a literal straight up power port, right? So as long as I can get the okay, so what we're gonna do now.
I would normally be on your side, but that whole chaos situation when I actually did poke around for investors, the amount of people lined up to just light money on fire with me was kind of insane. I didn't end up doing it because that would be fucking stupid, but like also kind of interesting, right? They were just like,
All right, so we're gonna get this into a board holder.
before they all fucking disperse and I'll fucking actually make Mythic and order. People like, really? And it's just like, oh boy.
Okay, and that should keep things nice and steady for me. Now, actually, I'm gonna probably be doing this the opposite way, huh? I'm gonna be doing it here. So I think, I mean, I don't know. So one thing I'm gonna have to try to do though is I don't know if I can get that. I'm gonna have to try to get that pad off, and I don't know how I'm gonna do that. Let's grab a little bit of focus real quick. All right, let me try this real quick. I'm going to be very careful here, but all right, so we're going to grab this like so. not sure I'm going to be able to get that off. But I think as long as I can just get solder up over the top of that pin, we should be okay. So now I'm going to go switch to a micro tip here.
Base long.
Boy. Sipping.
What's the surprise of the tournament so far? I think Mongols. Mongols is playing a good brand of CS. We'll see. They could potentially get knocked down.
All right, I need some coffee.
Back into the action though.
I think right now the surprise is like gotta be Mongols. Mongols are great to watch.
Could have been dealt with there. Cadian screaming to his teammates they need to be careful. And Snow is exactly that. Flash comes in to help him.
It's the internet, bro. You make a spelling mistake, it's fucking over.
Snow doesn't give it down though. He sticks around for a
You can be the most
second.
intelligent person in the entire fucking world.
Refuses to leave. Yami there to follow
You
up.
fuck up one letter, it's over.
Confidence of heroic. It's a joy to watch.
I think we're going to be able to fix this for him. Honestly.
1v5 for Waro. He has the bomb. But every time he is spotted, that net's going to close more and more. Knife out. But Yami's got the gun.
It's not going to be the easiest repair, and I think when I'm done with this, I'm probably going to hot snot it. And the only reason I say that is because, unfortunately, this right here, I mean, we might have a decent enough anchor, but all this underneath, they heated it from the bottom and it adhered to the USB port. It kind of kept things. What gave it its strength rather than, usually normally USB ports, see these two holes right here, they have some pegs that kind of go through to help provide support, but that's not on this port. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, the reason I'm not running Mythic Cups right now is because, well, first what found is after I ran a lot of Mythic Cups, ESEA started running their own, and then I started helping them promote their own. So, there hasn't really been much room.
Disconnecting for now. Galil and the Eagle is right from Monty.
So we're gonna just try maybe here to.
If you try and go B, they've already got a player ready. If you try and go mid.
You expect these angles.
Game leader was pretty awesome on goal.
Yeah, Jack gave me the update earlier.
Think about the game better, heroic.
And Heroic's just looking 2 steps ahead right now.
Vibrating at the same frequency. 9 to 5.
Then why they get rid of Boros? Wasn't he top fragger? No, he got an offer from
This is the
Falcons.
heroic we want to see though.
Might do this the dangerous way here. Nah, it won't work.
Crazy? I was crazy once.
So, let's see here. Problem that we're running into is that I think I'm gonna maybe need to do the ground pads first. Let's try that.
Yeah, what a massive step up. I mean, for somebody like Boros, I'm not gonna. My guess would
Let's
be
do this.
facetious is
Maybe.
Falcons is pretty big.
Players coming through on the pass as well, so looking good.
I don't know who backs Monty or like how the financials look for Monty, but I imagine
It's a little much, but
when it comes from Falcons, it's gonna be
if I have to wick that off, I will. But I'm gonna try to. Need to get this stable.
That's why Mega now is in a wall of copy pasta. Pull him out, Lil.
Looks like there's one more round in this one for Monty there. Just so much to do, not happening.
Okay.
For Monty, they'll take 6 into the second half, but they'll be quiet because heroic are ever so strong in the first map of this series.
We assemble
I'm gonna reheat this from the bottom anyhow when I'm done, so hopefully everything will settle down for me.
Thanks for the 9-month timer. Thank you.
It's looking okay. So let's just go ahead and add some more flux, and then we'll get in there with some fresh solder.
Just really hit.
Okay.
Hey, look, to be fair, I helped you out. You can't even be mad at me. Chad, I'm running a larger out here. Just because I think this one might do the funny. We'll see. And I'm just a greedy, sick fuck. I gotta use the restroom.
Good thing is that this pin on the left can bridge, no problem. And those can bridge, no problem. And the reason I say that is because they're the same, and now we still should not have any connectivity between these two. We don't. We do, and we do. Okay. So does it turn on? Well, let's find out. Okay, so we plug this guy in. Wait. Is this some... Oh no, it is a... Oh, I thought it was USB-C, but it's not. It looks like it, but it's definitely not USB-C. Alright, I got an idea. I know what. I've got the perfect solution for that. Okay, so I've got a straight up micro USB. And ladies and gentlemen, that is repaired. Now I've got to hook up the batteries to it still, but cool. So I've got some work. I still have got to strengthen it up a little bit, and very cool though. I've got to just strengthen it up a little bit to make sure that it's not going to rip right back off again, but that's very cool. That was fun. That was a fun little repair. I've never really worked on any of these before. I mean, just basic repair, but so we'll go add in some solder, and I don't know if I should try to reflow from the bottom, or the port does look a little canted, but I might be able to do without melting the inside. So I think I just, it's hard to show here, but it's slightly canted on the one side.
Was impressive from Heroic in the first half. And now maybe they've just forced some space in the second. See if Aston can get it. 3 for 13. Didn't have the greatest of performances in that first half. Heroic smashing Monty in many of those rounds.
Kind of clamping it down a little bit here with tweezers, and maybe I can get it to settle some. Not sure.
Not be a crazy standout. We know that Heroic are just a very well-rounded team. Sometimes I feel like if there's one player who might break into a real star of Heroic at some point,
Let's try
always have the potential.
a little bit of hot air here, huh? Now we've got to be careful because we don't really want to. I'm going to drop this down to 350. And then I'm going to do a faster airflow, like 70 or 80 is fine. And we're just going to try our best here to There we go. I don't know if y'all saw that on the screen, but it settled down. I don't think I melted anything on the inside. Luckily though, this is just a micro USB port. I would be able to order another one if something bad did happen, but that looks absolutely untouched. Okay. Cool. So we're gonna clean this up. I don't know. Should I put some hot snot on it, or I don't know. I'd have to find my hot glue gun too. I don't even know where that thing is at this point. It could be anywhere. It might be in my garage. Oh no, there's my hot glue gun. Buried under an old PS4. Let's go ahead and clean this up though. Yeah, it's settled down quite nicely. Yeah. I feel solid enough. I'm going to forego the hot glue for now. It's a little not even, but I think we'll be alright. Let's just pop it back in the shell real fast and see what it looks like. Just make sure I can still plug in a cable. So that goes like this. May have to reflow this actually. Nah, we're good. That will fit. No, that's fine. Okay, so now you got to hook up the wires again. So that's, oh, it's even marked for me. Battery terminal positive, battery terminal negative. Okay, cool. And thankfully they do make my life easy here.
Damn, dude, Shush is fucking arms looking kind of nice. He's been hitting the gym.
Terrible timing there towards Ram.
We're gonna do this over again. Probably should just go ahead and
So that there was no assistance for the player who was in Ram. They lose 2 players
replace
early, but all
all the solder, but we'll just mix,
back with 2.
give ourselves a nice
Good action from Yami there. He knows
combination of
Superpowers? Okay. Like, what are the rules, though?
having a good game here for Monty though. He's got that
leaded and unleaded.
Obviously, I think, like, you can't do the time superpower, because then, obviously, that, you know...
That's not good enough. Let's get some tweezers in there. That'll make my life a little bit easier. There we go. And that's looking good as well.
nice incendiary there for Monty.
Is it a superpower that enemies will stop that much air quick enough to make them knock down?
That gives them a clean advantage.
Disengaging from that mid position.
Okay.
The presence there. I wonder if Krasnov Moro will try to do something. And both posted up by the
Other way around. Oh, that's right. Let's just go ahead and let you guys get in on the action too here. This is fun.
50 seconds on the clock. No eyes on shorts.
So
Root connector.
Fucking straight up need the goddamn Avengers to be able to do that shit, though, for real.
Heroic headed. There's presence.
basically there's a little peg that I'm assuming it's supposed to be capacitive.
Something I will see the next. That's work hasn't worked out for them. 4 or 2 for Monty. And Heroicos back there trapped. But they turned crowds around before. Katie doesn't know where it's getting shot from. Leaving
Nope, missed up. It is a little bit of a pain, but there we go. Okay. Alright, so let's just go ahead and grab the screw for this, which I have right here.
First map we have on our hands here between Monty and Heroic. Both teams hit double digits. I love this early play from Monty on mid. And then that smoke.
There's a single screw for this guy.
I think that there's a slightly different position it can land as better.
Okay.
Either way, SBY
And then it just kind of pivots into like that.
approaching behind there.
Obviously, if I'm not allowed to miss the time.
Second time out taken by
Okay.
their money is
And I can just
Superpower of immigration, true. For NA? Wait, what do you mean? Wait, immigration didn't work for Liquid? Some would say it worked very well. Maybe too well.
we got these 3 little screws holding things down for us.
I mean, yeah, just don't miss.
I think they really are just trying to keep Monty's economy down. They've been doing a decent job at it, so
All right. Last but not least. I think I may have just heard Steven message me. Okay.
Yeah, but I'd use my PG.
And we're just gonna pop these guys back to their home here.
to smoke it. Wow, there's the shot from Shush. The bomb is not here. They're just trying to sell this as a fake.
Oh, they're lining up for Bro. Coming from the shadows. And that will help Krasnov chill on the rebound side. They know they haven't seen the bomb. And he need not rotate because he needs the
So
taunt
late to the stream.
Okay. And then I was also given. No, I did. Let's see if this works.
It just looked like so
Well, the battery part doesn't want to work.
just like sat back for a second. Just
I'm not sure
surprised that they thought it was 100% clear there, but
why.
fall for the bait. So Heroic had enough
I'm assuming they use USB. The battery is definitely my batteries could be dead. That is possible.
but Bro though out in the open, he gets decimated early in the round.
Top 10 fight.
Krasnov
Nice shot.
urgently trying to tie the numbers in mid. He'll do exactly that. It's beautiful place for Heroic in that mid position.
Important question. Yes,
There's smoke on
it is.
ramp at the moment, but it's
Ridiculous
fast
that
moving,
small.
isn't it? Heading towards connector. Krasnov's back again. Still alive for the time being, creating some space. That takes the eyes away though. Moving through the A's on site now on Heroic. They'll get some time cues towards CT. Shush with a few taps. He's got some help as well.
Well, it 100% works on USB power, and that's all that really matters. So we'll call that one good. I guess if they need me to look at the battery stuff, I can. But either my battery's dead or whatever the heck that power switch is supposed to be is just not working. Because that doesn't seem right to me, but it is what it is.
You need to learn to say no. That's your fucking goddamn superpower.
And I think he's really delivered here at the
I think that's the problem is he's been cooking enough, Chad.
here in this upper bracket match.
He's been cooking his own shit. I think that's the problem here.
Flash over the top. Boom indeed.
Frustration for Heroic. They expect to win every match. Monty are strong on Mirage. And again, it's always difficult to put Heroic down. We'll witness to that yesterday. How about the AKs out in round 23? See how deep their utility goes.
You teleport your body to like
Cool.
consciousness.
Well, you know, I'm just gonna call it a day. I really just want to end on that. I'm gonna go play some Zelda, enjoy my afternoon, and do some fun stuff. So, hope you all have a good weekend. I will be back next week. Definitely gonna be back. Well, no, I won't be back next Saturday. I do have some life issues I have to take care of next week, so I will be back next Sunday. We have Nintendo Switches to work on. We have, you know what? I'm ending, but maybe let's take a look at one thing. I don't know why I want to do this, but we're going to do it. So I got to switch in. Nah, fuck it. We're calling it a day. We're calling it a day. I'll just see how next week. We're going to have some switches. We're going to have another PC Engine GT. We've seen me work on a Turbo Express before. That still needs to get worked on. I don't feel like mucking with it today. So, yeah, we'll be back next week. And I'll see y'all then. All right, guys. Have a good weekend.